Hello friends, today I have a quick flow to help you to release any tension in your lower back. So when you're ready, we're going to start in child's pose. Your choice if you want to have knees together, knees open, arms out in front or arms down, tucking through the legs or on the side of your legs. Pick what you need today. I'm just gonna arrive on the mat. Take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. Acknowledge whatever you're showing up with today. And let this flow serve that, making modifications or changes where you need. Make it your own. Lifting up to sit on our heels. I'm just going to turn to face you. We're going to bump the hips over towards the left. So we're sort of sitting on this left butt cheek. The right palm or the fingertips are going to come down, and we're going to inhale, lift the left arm up overhead, reaching over to the right hand side to get this lovely deep stretch down the left side body, the obliques, the left hip. Let the head hang heavy here. And just breathe into that stretch. Inhale to come up, moving through center, scooting the hips over to the right hand side, sitting on that right butt cheek. Left palm or fingertips come down. This side's a little bit more awkward for me. Inhale, lifting the arm up overhead and bending over to the left to stretch through the right side. Breathing deeply here. Come up, and we're just going to come through tabletop, tucking the toes under, lifting the knees up off the floor. I'm just going to gently walk the palms back towards the feet, keeping a lovely deep bend in the knees as we just let the body hang heavy here. You can clasp opposite elbows with opposite hand. You can rock side to side if that feels good. Or you might just want to hang heavy here, feeling the lower back opening up, creating a little bit of space. Great. Palms come back down to the ground, walking them back out, and we're going to you can drop the left knee down as we bring the right foot up. You might need to help it to get up in between the hands, coming into low lunge. Here, we're just going to let the hips sink down towards the ground using our hands, fingertips, or on palms, or you can be up on props, to open the front of that left hip, stretching the hip flexors and the front of the quad. Just stay here, breathing deeply. send the hips back. Maybe you need to walk the foot forward a little bit to create a little bit of space. You can keep a deep bend here in the knee, coming into half split. Think about drawing the thigh bone, the femur back into the socket to help square off the hips here so we're not squinting too much. Stretching the hamstrings. What I've learnt with my lower back pain and various injuries is it's all connected. So by stretching the things that connect to the lower back can help to create a bit of relief from any pain, any tension that you might be having there. Rolling through that front foot, and we're going to walk the foot out to the side. The toes might spill off the edge of the mat, coming into lizard, so palms can be down, coming into a little bit of a deeper stretch there. Or we can also push the right knee out with the palm on the inner thigh to open out that right hip. Showing you from the front. So we're just opening out the hips a little bit to just deepen that stretch on the hip flexors. From here, we're going to walk the foot now over to the left-hand side and bring it down towards the left hip, sinking down into pigeon. It might feel good with the heel to be quite close to the hip, or if you want to deepen the stretch, you can start to bring the foot out, working up to that fabled 90-degree angle. But don't push it too much here. This is about being gentle, finding some relief from pain. You can stay up on the fingers here, coming down the forearms, maybe coming down to the floor. And stay here for a few breaths. Coming back up, we're going to roll onto that right butt cheek, bringing the left leg around so that the left foot is on the outside of the right knee. If twisting isn't great for your back, stay here. You can hold the shin or just on the knee here. If you do want to take the twist, hook the right arm around the knee, left hand comes behind you and twist. Try to make sure that the left seat bones are also grounding down, so not just sort of lifting up. You're going to find a bit more of a stretch there through the glute, the piriformis. Unravel, swing that left leg back around, using your palms to push up, sliding that right leg back, and we're going to come onto the other side. So lifting that left leg up in between the palms, giving it a hand if you need to, and sinking down into your low lunge, taking it really nice and easy. Opening up through that right hip crease now, through the right hip flexors. using your fingers or palms to help you pull the hips back, straightening the front leg, coming into a half split, and again thinking about pulling the femur back into the socket to help square those hips up. Rolling through the front foot, and we're going to walk it to the left so the toes are at the edge of the mat, coming into lizard. Maybe you take the left hand and push it into the thigh to open the hips up a little bit more. Walking the foot now over to the right hand side, maybe drawing it back towards the hip as you sink down into pigeon. You decide where your leg goes, whatever feels comfy, feeling that stretch into the piriformis and the glutes. Should feel really, really good. Come back up, roll onto the left butt, swing that leg around so that the foot is planted on the outside of the left knee. Both seat bones are down into the ground. Stay here if that's enough, or hook the left arm around the knee. Right hand comes behind you for the twist. Should be feeling this stretch now in the right sort of glute area. Unraveling, and we're going to send the legs now out in front of us. Maybe moving a little bit further down your mat so that you can come down onto the back. And here, drawing the knees up to the chest, doing some good old rock and rolls, side to side, maybe circling the knees here. And then the other way. Then with the knees in the center, we're going to open the arms out into a T shape, and we're just going to let the knees fall to the right hand side. Maybe you look over towards the left hand to come into a twist. You can place something underneath the knees here if you need a little bit more support, if getting down to the ground is a little bit much. Inhale the knees back up to center and let them fall to the left hand side. Again, you can prop them up if you need a little bit more help there. Maybe the gaze goes over to the right. drawing the knees back to the center, feet come to the floor, knees bent, and we're just going to windshield wiper the knees back and forth, making sure that the lower back is flush with the mat when we come through center. And this should give a really nice massage on the top of the glutes and where your sacroiliac joint is, or joints, there are two of them. And maybe as you're tick-tocking your knees from side to side, they walk down the mat a little bit, and we'll come into Savasana just for a short while. Something that I really like for my lower back is to put a bolster or a pillow or something underneath the knees so that my legs aren't flat on the floor. I've got my knees slightly bent, and that really helps me to ground my lower back down into the floor so it doesn't arch up. That's something that you can do in bed as well. If you're lying down, you know, at any point that you may be lying down, that can be really nice to create a little bit of support for the lower back so we're not arching. And we'll stay here for a couple more moments, inhaling deeply, exhaling deeply. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that this short practice will have brought you a little bit of relief. Lower back pain is actually the reason why I started doing yoga, and I found it was the only thing that did bring me relief. So I'm a big advocate for it. Consistency is key, and figuring out your own body. I'll end the practice here, but if you want to keep here, stay here in Savasana, of course, feel free to do so. Inhaling to draw the palms together, Anjali Mudra, and exhaling, Namaste.